Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-diving into a classic comfort food that is guaranteed to satisfy all your cravings. The legendary Meatball Marinara Sub. Forget the takeout lines. I'm going to show you how to make a sub that's even better, right in your own kitchen. We're talking juicy, flavorful meatballs, a rich and savory marinara sauce, all loaded into a perfectly toasted bun with tons of gooey, melted cheese. Your kitchen is about to smell absolutely incredible, so grab your apron and let's get cooking. First up, let's talk meatballs. The secret to a great meatball is a good mix of meats and the right seasonings. For our recipe, we'll be using a combination of ground beef and ground pork. The beef gives it that classic, rich flavor, while the pork adds moisture and tenderness, so you get a perfect bite every time. In a large bowl, we'll combine 1 pound of ground beef and half a pound of ground pork. To this, we're adding 1 finely chopped small onion, about 3 cloves of minced garlic, and a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh parsley. Fresh herbs really make a difference, so don't skip the parsley. Now, for the binders and seasonings. We need 1 large egg, half a cup of Italian-style breadcrumbs, and a 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. The Parmesan adds a wonderful salty, nutty flavor that really elevates the meatballs. For the spices, we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of dried oregano. You can also add a pinch of red pepper flakes if you like a little bit of heat, but that's totally optional. Now, it's time to get your hands in there and mix everything together. Be gentle. Overworking the meat can make the meatballs tough, so mix just until everything is combined. Once your meat mixture is ready, it's time to form the meatballs. I like to make them about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter. A small ice cream scoop can be really helpful here to make sure they all uniform in size, which helps them cook evenly. Roll them between your palms to make them nice and round. You should get about 16 to 20 meatballs from this mixture. Once they're all formed, place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. We're going to bake them first, which is a great way to cook them without adding extra oil, and it helps them hold their shape beautifully in the sauce. Bake them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they're browned and cooked through. While the meatballs are baking, let's get started on our homemade marinara sauce. It's so much better than store-bought and surprisingly easy. In a large pot or Dutch oven, heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil over medium heat. Add 1 chopped medium onion and cook until it's soft and translucent, which should take about 5 minutes. Then, add 4 cloves of minced garlic and cook for another minute until it's fragrant. Be careful not to burn the garlic. Now, pour in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I prefer using San Marzano tomatoes if you can find them. They have a sweeter, less acidic flavor that's perfect for marinara. To season our sauce, we'll add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of dried basil, a pinch of sugar to balance the acidity of the tomatoes, and salt and pepper to your taste. I usually start with about a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Bring the sauce to a simmer, then reduce the heat to low, cover, and let it gently simmer while the meatballs finish baking. This will allow all those delicious flavors to meld together. By now, your meatballs should be perfectly browned. Take them out of the oven. They might have released some fat, so you can just gently lift them off the baking sheet with a spatula. Now, carefully add the baked meatballs to your simmering marinara sauce. Give them a gentle stir to make sure they are all coated in that beautiful red sauce. Let the meatballs simmer in the sauce for at least 20 minutes on low heat. Honestly, the longer they simmer, the better they'll taste as they absorb all that wonderful flavor. If you have time, Letting them simmer for an hour will make them out of this world. Now, for the final, and maybe most important, part, assembling the sub. You'll need some good quality sub rolls or hoagie buns. A sturdy bread is key so it doesn't get soggy. Slice your rolls lengthwise, but not all the way through, creating a hinge. I like to butter the inside and toast them for a couple of minutes under the broiler, or in a pan until they re-golden brown and a little crispy. This not only adds flavor, but also creates a barrier to keep the sauce from soaking through the bread too quickly. Once your buns are toasted, it's time to load them up. Spoon about 4 to 5 meatballs into each sub roll, along with a generous amount of that amazing marinara sauce. Don't be shy with the sauce. Now for the cheese. Provolone is the classic choice here, and for good reason. It has a great melting quality and a mild flavor that complements the meatballs perfectly. Lay 2 or 3 slices of provolone cheese over the meatballs. You could also use mozzarella or a mix of both if you prefer, to get that perfectly melted, gooey cheese topping. Place the assembled subs on a baking sheet and pop them back under the broiler for just a minute or 2. Keep a very close eye on them because they can go from golden to burnt in a matter of seconds. You just want the cheese to be bubbly and slightly browned on top. Once they're out, you can garnish them with a little extra fresh parsley or even a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for an extra pop of flavor. And there you have it. The most incredible homemade meatball marinara sub you'll ever taste. It's saucy, cheesy, and packed with so much flavor. This is the perfect meal for a game day, a family dinner, or just when you need some serious comfort food. The combination of the tender, flavorful meatballs, the rich marinara, the toasted bun, and that melted provolone is just pure magic. I really hope you give this recipe a try. Let me know in the comments how it turns out for you. Thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more delicious recipes like this one. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll see you in the next video. Happy cooking!